All right, I am now working on imagery, and I've found a text right here. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. I found a text right here where Victor is describing M. Waldman, and that's the professor that he did like because he's the opposite of Crimp, who insulted him. Okay, so here he describes this man as very unlike his colleague. He's about 50 years of age. He says he's got greatest benevolence, and then he describes him with a few gray hairs. That's something we can imagine, covering his temples. So he's got distinguished gray. At the back, it's nearly black. He's short, but he stands very tall, and he has a very sweet voice. I'm kind of thinking maybe he associates this guy with his dad, who's probably about the same age. But enough of that. Now I'm going to look back here at this document. Remember this one? Okay, and I'm going to look at what it says about imagery. All right. So let's see. First of all, it tells I need to talk about what the writer or speaker is describing. Don't re-describe everything. And let's say that I've already. Well, I haven't already done it. I'm going to go ahead and embed the text. I'm going to talk about the purpose for the image afterward. Why are we describing that? What type of sensory input and the immediate impact of it? Well, we see the guy, but why is he describing this guy? Why is he describing him this way? How should we, if you look at this question, how should we interpret what we see? Okay, and that may be different than how Victor interprets what he sees. Okay, which is kind of interesting. Victor sees a very kindly man with those gray temples. What do we see? I just see a guy in his 50s, which tells me something about Victor. Okay. The actually, I think that's one of the descriptors here of imagery is not on here, but it's on the PowerPoint that I gave you. All right, I'm going to reduce this. I'm going to look here. I've already got the template for imagery. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with quoting it. All right, or using the text. Victor describes kindly M. Waldman as a man about 50 years old with let's see, a few gray hairs that cover his temples and the hair at the back of his head is black. Okay. I'm also going to describe his stature. Victor says that although Waldman is short, he is remarkably erect. Okay, he stands, I'm going to change that. He stands remarkably erect. Okay. This is significant because he likes this man more than the other one. He describes him as having great benevolence. Okay, so the obvious purpose for the image is for us to see what Victor sees. However, we don't interpret the same thing, but I'm going to refer to this template over here. Remember this? Okay, right over here. I can't highlight that. All right. This depiction of Waldman helps us, or with this depiction, the audience imagines, okay, this depiction of Waldman helps us, use visualize. Visualize man's physical appearance. Okay, now remember, I said that what we see is just a middle-aged man, but when Victor sees this, he sees someone who's kindly. It reminds him of his father. Okay, so it does help us to visualize the man's physical appearance. However, oops, wrong. Okay. However, we see we interpret this vision differently. Victor sees someone who is, I'm going to say benevolent, is benevolent, like, and reminds him of his father. We only see a middle-aged man. Okay. All right. Now, what does it do? What are the possible effects? Well, I think we said that this leads us to understand that he associates the man with his father. Okay. What's strange about that, though, is that his father does not care for science. Okay. We do not have a shared experience that builds camaraderie because we see something different. However, it does help us to understand something. Okay, maybe Victor is looking for a father who approves of science. I don't know. Okay. This could mean that Victor seeks a father who approves of his scientific, who shares his love for science and approves of his pursuits. Okay, I know that's kind of hard to see right now because the page split. All right, but this is what I've got. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, there. Okay, all right. So, so that you can see what I've got, Victor describes the kindly Mr. Waldman this way. I've got quotations from the text, and I'm saying what it is that's happening. It helps us to visualize his physical appearance. However, we see someone different, and this could mean that Victor seeks a father who shares his love for science and approves of his pursuit. Now, why do we need to know this about Victor? Well, it could advance the plot. It also helps enhance his motives, right? Now, of course, what you say is going to depend on what you're writing about. But it does build on Victor's character. Okay. So we understand more about Victor's character. Okay. So I'm going to say that as a result, we better understand his character. Okay. All righty.